morning, UPBOptionMillionaires.com, October 27th, 2014. It is a Monday, and stock futures just off the close that they saw on Friday after finishing off the strongest week in all of 2014. So stock futures down about 0.15%. In the whole context of the move that it's seen off the lows from a week and a half ago. It's not so bad to see a little bit of a pullback like it did a couple days ago before mounting continued upside action, and we'll see if that's what's going to happen. If you look back at the start of the year, we had a similar type pullback, and then after we had a really nice recovery, we consolidated a little bit. So we'll see a little bit consolidation possibly. The question is, after that consolidation, we're going to vault up to record highs. We're going to pull back. How long is it going to take? So the things, let me just look at briefly at some charts here to tell me why I'm still kind of apprehensive in this market. One is oil, and USO is down another 1% here this morning pre-market. It's about 2 hours before the market's going to open for trade. We have still the talks of deflation. Deflation is not a good thing, especially when Federal Reserve is ending its quantitative easing program. Still 0% interest rate policy, though. But look at the VXX. Fear was at a high at the lows a week and a half ago, has since pulled back. We've seen this story before. Each of these stories, at the end of it, we have this massive collapse in volatility, and everybody's complaining about how the VIX is so low. And anybody who went long the VXX long term is basically turned their money from a lot into a little. And so that's going to maintain the same trend until it breaks. And so you're seeing this pullback here. We have this massive spike in fear and volatility, and then it just gets sold off. It's like, goodbye. Don't care about you anymore. Energy, and this is going to be down this morning. It's down 10%, probably lower than that. I said at $80 level, if you look from a long-term chart perspective, was a price that needed to be held. And it did. It held. We had this nice brief break below it, and then we've rebounded as a weekly chart. So we'll see if we can make continued constructive progress towards upside here, XLE. That's going to be important. Now look at IWM. Got back above support here. We're back in the channel. And I do this a lot, that arrow's back in the channel. It's important. Again, we're back in the channel, and possibly see a move back up to 120. IWM was actually heading lower before the S&P 500. Look at SPY. This is kind of what gets me a little nervous here. We're below the Abenomics trend line. Talked about this Abenomics trend line every video along the way here for the last couple of years. We broke below it with the sell-off a week and a half ago. Now we're getting ever so close to breaking back above it. And that would be terribly bullish for this market if we can somehow get back above this level. The sooner the better. NASDAQ, I said about the 9060 level. We broke right back to about the 9060, 9058 level, somewhere around there, before we started to bounce. This is bullish as well. Look at this. We're getting almost back up to that triple-digit all-time record high for the QQQ. So that's, again, something to watch, and that's pretty bullish there. The bond market's pulling back a little bit. We still have 0% interest rate policy, but again, look, talked about this 1950 line. It acted as resistance in the past, and now that 1950 level's acting as support, and we'll see if it holds here. If it does, we could be looking at significantly higher prices here with stronger bonds. Again, the theme remains lower interest rates overseas on bonds, and that's why over here in the U.S., you're seeing demand in spite of the reduction in the quantitative easing. Let's look at GLD, which has been in a tailspin, but maintaining off the support of the former channel that started in 2012. Also SLV, which has been pulling back. And again, oil is signaling deflation, but we're getting near support here, about 29 on USO. It's down over 1.2% here this morning. I think that had a lot to do with the sell-off. USO was at almost 40. It is now pulling back. It's almost at 30, so we'll see support here. 29, see if it holds, and that's, of course, going to hurt or help XLE energy stocks, and we'll see where this market heads. Here in the short term, SPY, again, trying to get back over the trend line. We can get back over that. I mean, it's going to be, we could see significant upside for stocks, but if we can't get over that, this little nut to crack, we'll look here at the short-term chart. I'll show you exactly what levels here, about 198. We might get up there and just give it a kiss. before pulling back. So it's been really a significant rally. All right, I'm going to do an earnings video. We got a lot of earnings this week, Twitter and Facebook, and a lot of companies reporting earnings. Last week talked about Coca-Cola for puts, and yeah, we came up and we came down. It was great. Got the Coca-Cola, I believe, is the $43 puts. Worked almost to perfection. Was able to sell those for a nice profit. I think they ultimately went to about $2.70 or $3, something like that, from 45 cents. So looking for similar earnings trades this week. You, pboptionmillionaires.com. I'll see you in the chat room. Everyone have a great trading day, and we'll see if this week will be as nice as last week was for the market. Goodbye.